second finalist. Team Plantsville Health believes in growing and eating safe, organic food at home and in sourcing local and seasonal food from small farmers. Team Plantsville Health, may we now call you on stage to give your pitch.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Ako po ay si November Canieso-Yeo. In a family of five, the parent farmers in Cabalawan, Sogod, Cebu, earn only 5,000 pesos. And that's mainly because they don't own the land. They get only 30% of the produce, which is actually declining because of, the quantity is declining because of poor soil and occurrences of typhoon. The quality also declines because of too much heat. At the same time, in this barangay, 25% is composed of the youth who don't earn right now, but are raring to earn so they can help their families and send themselves to school. With lower production, it makes eating healthy more difficult for common Filipinos. Now, in fact, today, 1 of every 4 Filipinos are hypertensive. In 2017, that amounted to more than 12 million Filipinos. Even worse is, even the youth as young as 13 years old get hypertension. But there's good news. The Philippines is blessed with 19 endemic species of cinnamon, 3 of which have been identified by DOST as commercially viable. At the same time, in the Philippines, we can actually have all the 7 honey-producing bees thrive and produce honey and other products all throughout the year. You know, cinnamon and honey are very rich in antioxidants that can protect us from hypertension, and cinnamon has cinnamaldehyde that protects us from hypertension because it lowers cholesterol and controls blood sugar. In 2016, the global market for cinnamon was $464 million. And for honey, in 2025, the global market is projected to be $10 billion. So the question really is, how to address the problem in agriculture and in health within the opportunity presented by cinnamon and honey. So right now, Plantsville has a partnership with 7 upland farmers associations in Negros, and we have already planted 14,133 seedlings, and they are harvestable starting next year. And this is the solution, that the Cabalawan youth engages in bee and cinnamon organic farm, and that Plantsville Health buys their produce, processes it in an FDA-grade facility, and sells it in the local and international market that is growing because they're very health conscious, and also we need to fight hypertension. So in organic farming, we actually enrich the soil through compost. We plant the trees so that it can hold soil and water and absorb carbon, which causes actually the climate change. We also increase the pollinator bees to increase the yield in the farm, and then we open up a revenue stream for the youth from honey, pollen, propolis, beeswax, cinnamon, which is being used in food, medicine, and cosmetics. We market the goods under the brand of Food is Medicine because they're safe and healthy, and we also save the threatened cinnamon species. We make sure that there's a strong partnership between the public and the private. So how does it work? So World Vision organizes the youth, registers it in LGU and ATI 4H, funds the youth for bee and cinnamon farming, funds Plantsville to develop the FDA facility, which, by the way, we already got inquiries from SM and a Filipino store based in California, but they're requiring an FDA registration. But in the long term, we would like to seek help with LGU to provide land so that we can develop ecotourism. So with that, I hope and I enjoin the judges, World Vision, and the audience to please help me help the upland youth farmers make their livelihood sustainable in the face of climate change effect on soil. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Team Plantsville Health.
All right, judges and audience members.
Okay, hi, November.
Hello, John.
So great to have chatted with you back.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So first of all, this bee farm concept, I've seen it work really well in Sigogon. I was there last year, and I saw that how something like this really impacts not just the immediate community, but also further. I think this is something that's very replicable. And given that you're already looking at the next step or the next level, which is FDA approval, and also looking at your brand, I think you're way ahead in terms of trying to see where you can take this. So I think if I were to give like 100,000 to you right now, I know where it's going to go. But I do know that you need more. And but I think this is a good start. I think if World Vision can give this platform to you, it's something that you can use to really propel what you're trying to do here. But my question now is, I know you need more, but with what you're going to give this, what World Vision is going to give you now, what will you do with it, given that your requirements are really, so much more?
I'd give it to the Cabalawan youth so that they can start with the bees. No? The bees, the underlying assumption is they will start planting. And when they start planting, because they're going to get trained, their parents will see the benefits of organic farming. No? And when we invested on the bees, actually the bees, kasi they also give birth, no? There's a multiplier effect. So actually the money will grow with from the 100,000.
And hopefully from that point on, you'll generate internally revenue, which will get you to the next phase. Is that correct?
Yes. And I hope I can convince later on World Vision or other funders to help me set up the FDA facility, because so that we can sell the honey with a higher value, both local and international market.
I agree and support that 100%. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Judges, any of the other judges? Yes, ma'am.
This is just a quick question. I just researched. Apparently, endemic in Cebu is the Cebu cinnamon. Is this
There are two endemic species in Cebu. There's the Cinnamomum mindanense, which is, I'm going to ask them to plant it, and the Cinnamomum cebuense.
Okay.
If you ask me, the mindanense is much younger than the cebuense.
Okay, so but they are both good for production and okay.
Yes.
They have
That's why I chose the cinnamon, because it can withstand very difficult conditions of the soil and the weather.
Okay, so very good for actually encouraging Cebuanas to plant more of this because it's endemic to Cebu. And apparently we're using this species of tree. And then another thing, how long before the tree could actually be productive enough? Like, it's a tree, right? So when can you actually harvest?
You can start harvesting between 2.5 years to 3 years. That's why I suggested the bees, because you can start harvesting in 1 to 3 months.
Right. Okay, good.
So what's the acceptability level of the community, the farmers, were you able to get that?
Yes, they're really excited to do organic farming. And then when I mentioned the bee and cinnamon, I spoke to Ms. Faitzy. She said that they're open to ideas of bee and cinnamon because these are new things that they also would like to learn about. My sense is they are really looking for change in terms of agriculture. And I think bee and cinnamon would be a good introduction to the youth.
Any more questions from the audience?
Yes, we have a hand that is up, a very
Quick part of comment or additional information. There's this new, or maybe you know this already, a new IP, intellectual property for those crops that are growing just in a certain area. So there's this ID for geographic indicator. So if it's endemic in the area, you can actually have that patented.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that information.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Because I believe we still have a bit of time. We've extended the time so it's consistent from the first finalist. Yes, go right ahead, sir.
That's our last question.
Hi, good evening. Maybe DA can support the, the land, and then LGU can support the facility, and then the OST can support the equipment. So we can collaborate with that.
Thank you very much.
And that is all the time that we have.
Thank you so much, Team Plantsville